There is a secret within you, one that has shaped your past and is, even now, shaping your future, a power so potent that once you awaken it, you will never again settle for mediocrity. For too long, people have walked this earth as slaves to their circumstances, prisoners of their past, and hostages to fear. But today, I tell you this, your destiny is not written in stone. It is written in your mind, your decisions, and the intensity of your desire. You were not born to live an average life. You were not created to be small, to be silent, or to settle. You were created to create, to mold the invisible forces around you and shape them into something worthy of your soul. There is a law in this universe, and it answers not to the weak but to the determined. The first lie the world teaches us is this: it is what it is. That's a lie. It isn't what it is. It's what you decide it will be. If you accept the conditions you're in, if you believe the lies you were taught about your limitations, then yes, your destiny will be carved by those hands. But if you rise up, if you defy that voice within and the voices around you, then your destiny bends. It changes. It obeys the voice of a man or woman who refuses to be ordinary, the man who understands this truth, that thoughts are things, and that thoughts backed by belief and desire become reality. This man cannot be stopped. You must understand, your thoughts are the blueprint, your emotions are the fuel, and your actions are the bricks by which you construct your destiny. There is no such thing as luck. There is only cause and effect. A man thinks with clarity, speaks with certainty, acts with boldness, and the world rearranges itself to make room for him. You see, the ones who have changed their destiny were no different than you. They had no wings, no crown, no divine touch of fate that you do not possess. They simply decided, and kept deciding, and that is the difference between a life forgotten and a legacy remembered. Destiny is not about fate. It is about the fire you carry. That fire must be protected. It must be fed, and it must be directed toward a purpose that is greater than fear, greater than comfort, greater than the opinions of others. Let me tell you this: the chains holding you down are invisible. They are made of doubt. They are forged in hesitation and reinforced by procrastination. But once you take that first bold step, once you say enough, and move forward regardless of how you feel, that's when the prison door opens. And on the other side is the version of you that was always waiting to be born. You will never change your destiny by waiting for the right moment. The right moment is created when you decide to act. How many dreams have died while someone waited for everything to line up perfectly? How many gifts have rotted inside of men and women because they believed the lie that they weren't ready? You don't need permission to rise. You don't need approval to grow. You don't need validation to be powerful. You were given life. That was your permission, and your responsibility is to do something with it. The truth is, your future is begging you to listen. It's whispering in your dreams, it's aching in your heart, it's screaming through your restlessness. It's trying to tell you, you were not meant to stay where you are. There is more for you, and not just more in things, but more in power, in purpose, in passion. You can change your destiny the moment you stop asking if and start declaring when. You can change it when you stop reacting and start creating. You can change it when you stop looking for the easy way and start choosing the right way. The way of discipline, the way of vision, the way of faith. Now you may say, but I have failed before. Good, that means you've tried, that means you've grown, that means you have data the others don't. Failure is not the end. It is a signal, it is feedback. It is the universe testing your resolve, because destiny is not given to the first one who knocks. It is given to the one who keeps knocking long after the door has been slammed shut. When a man is determined, truly determined, even the laws of nature begin to obey him. History has proven this again and again. When you commit, deeply, completely, unshakably, everything changes, your mind sharpens, your courage increases, your words carry more weight, and the people around you start to believe in you, not because they understand your dream, but because they can feel that you believe in it. Changing your destiny is not about doing everything. It's about doing one thing with everything you've got. Focused energy is what splits steel, and it's what breaks through the walls that seem to block your path. If you try to do everything, you will dilute your power. But if you take your full energy and put it into one mission, one goal, one vision, nothing can stop you. Your environment is not your fate. Your past is not your prophecy. Your pain is not your prison. They are only ingredients, raw materials, and in the hands of a focused mind, they become stepping stones to greatness. But understand this, nothing changes unless you do. You cannot escape the life you have by continuing to think the way you've always thought. If you want a new destiny, you must first become a new version of yourself, not in title, not in possessions, but in spirit, in mindset, in clarity, in belief. Every moment you are either rehearsing your limitations or you are practicing your liberation. Every word you speak is either a brick in the wall that holds you back or a beam in the bridge that leads you forward. You have to make a decision, right now, not tomorrow. Who are you becoming? There is a price to pay to change your destiny. It is not easy. You will have to sacrifice comfort. You will have to say no to distractions. You will have to spend long hours alone with your vision, shaping it, refining it, feeding it. You will have to speak life over it when others speak death. But I promise you this, that price is nothing compared to the cost of regret. Nothing stings more than the pain of what could have been. So pay now, and live later in power, or refuse, and live later in regret. A person with purpose can endure anything. When you are clear on where you are going, obstacles become training. Failure becomes fuel, criticism becomes noise, and delay becomes preparation. The problem is not that you are broken. The problem is that you've believed the lie that you can't be more. You don't need more time. You need more intensity. You don't need more information. You need more application. You don't need another sign. You need to move. Your destiny is not out there. It is within, waiting, hoping, praying for you to rise, to reach, to roar. The world does not give to those who whisper. It gives to those who declare. So today, make that declaration, not to the world, but to yourself, that no matter what your past has been, your future is yours. That you will rise, that you will overcome, that you will outlast the pain, outwork the competition, and outgrow every excuse. Change is not something you find, it's something you become. Greatness is not something you stumble into. It's something you fight for, and your destiny will not change until you demand it, command it, claim it, because in the end, the only real limitation is the one you refuse to break, and the only real destiny is the one you decide to build. And so, every single day must become a battlefield between who you were and who you are determined to become. Each morning must be met with resolve. Each setback must be answered with strength. Because the only way to change your destiny is to change how you show up, how you think, how you move, how you speak, how you believe. There is no savior coming to rewrite your story. There is no outside force that will do the heavy lifting for you. If you want a new life, you must earn it, through sweat, through fire, through unwavering discipline and relentless commitment. Every excuse you give breathes life into your current chains, and every action you take in alignment with your vision sharpens the blade that cuts through them. Look around you, the people you admire, the lives you wish you had, the impact you wish you made, they are not accidents. They are products of obsession, sacrifice, and daily execution. These are men and women who refuse to live by default. They made a decision that their current circumstances would not be their final story, and they wrote a new one day by day, habit by habit, belief by belief. You see, you don't drift into greatness, you march there. With blood in your mouth and purpose in your bones, you move forward when you're tired, you show up when it's inconvenient, you push when it hurts, and you get louder when life tries to silence you. Too many people are praying for transformation without participating in it. They want the mountain to move, but they won't pick up the shovel. They want to be free, but they won't fight the war inside. Destiny does not respond to wishes. It responds to will, and your will must be unshakable. The most powerful thing you will ever do in this life is decide. Decide who you are. Decide what you stand for. Decide what you will no longer tolerate. Decide that this version of you, the one bound by fear, crushed by doubt, paralyzed by perfectionism, is no longer allowed to lead. And when you do, when that decision becomes final, real change begins. Not surface change, not temporary motivation, but cellular change, identity change, and from there, your future begins to pull you instead of push you. You become a magnet for the life you were always meant to live, because you finally stepped into alignment with the greatness you carry. But make no mistake, this isn't a one-time decision. This is a daily vow. This is you waking up every day and reaffirming who you are and why you're here. This is you choosing growth over comfort, excellence over ease, vision over validation. The war isn't over in one battle. Destiny doesn't change in one burst of motivation. It changes when you build unbreakable momentum, when you stop flirting with potential and start marrying purpose, and you have to be ruthless about it. Ruthless with your distractions, ruthless with your time, ruthless with your old habits, your toxic thoughts, your weak language, and your limited associations. You cannot surround yourself with people who worship comfort and expect to become someone who dominates difficulty. You need an environment that mirrors your mission. You need habits that echo your highest self. You need language that lifts, beliefs that build, and routines that reinforce the man or woman you're becoming. That's the foundation, that's the soil where destiny shifts. What you tolerate will always define you. Tolerate laziness, you become lazy. Tolerate excuses, you become a master of them. But when you stop tolerating weakness and demand strength, when you stop tolerating fear and demand courage, everything changes, not overnight, but inevitably, because destiny doesn't arrive at your doorstep. It waits at the edge of your effort. And the only way to reach it is to walk the road with fire in your soul and sweat on your brow. That fire, that relentless pursuit, that's the difference between a man who watches his life pass by and one who commands it, like a general leads an army. Most people don't fail because they weren't capable. They fail because they weren't consistent. They give up too early. They doubt too often. They talk too much and act too little. They expect change to be convenient. But transformation is inconvenient. It costs, it hurts, it's uncomfortable, and that's why most people stay stuck. But not you. Not if you understand this truth. You were made for more. Your scars are proof that you've survived, not that you're finished. Your flaws are not your identity. They are the raw material for your refinement. And your pain is not a curse, it's a catalyst, a tool, a fire. Use it. Use the rejection. Use the disappointment. Use the fear. Use the silence. Use every moment that tried to break you, and build with it. Use it to forge the man, the woman, the warrior who will not be denied. You must become relentless. You must become unreasonable in your belief, unstoppable in your commitment. There will be days when doubt knocks hard. Let it knock, but don't let it in. There will be storms. Let them come, but plant your feet. Hold your vision. Speak your truth. And walk through it, because destiny does not belong to the most talented. It belongs to the most committed, the most consistent, the ones who get back up every single time life knocks them down and says, "Is that all you've got?" And when you do this long enough, fiercely enough, faithfully enough, something incredible happens. The world begins to notice. Opportunities begin to align. People begin to rally around your fire. And most importantly, you begin to believe, fully, deeply, irrevocably, that the life you saw in your dreams is not only possible, it's inevitable, and it becomes inevitable not because the path gets easier, but because you get stronger. You stop questioning whether you're capable and start acting like it. You stop asking for signs and start becoming the sign. You stop waiting for the world to give you permission and begin walking like the world already belongs to you. And when that switch flips, when you start moving as if your destiny is non-negotiable, something ancient inside you wakes up. the part of you that remembers who you were before the world told you who to be, that remembers the fire you had before fear watered it down, that remembers the boldness you carried before failure taught you how to doubt. That part returns, and it doesn't come back quietly. It comes roaring. Roaring through your voice, through your action, through the way you walk into a room, through the way you say yes to hard things and no to anything that dishonors your future. That's how you change destiny. You stop letting your past make decisions and start letting your purpose speak louder than your pain. It's not enough to think big. You must act bold. You must rise while others sleep, work while others complain, believe while others mock. While the masses chase pleasure, you must chase purpose. While others kill time, you must invest it, because time is not just money, it's life, and you don't get to keep any of it. You spend it every day on something, and your destiny is being written by where you place that investment. It's easy to live average, easy to follow the crowd, easy to mimic mediocrity. But the person who dares to rise above, who chooses the narrow road, who picks struggle over safety, becomes a beacon in this world, a light, a force, and it's not for applause. It's because there's a knowing in their spirit, an ache, that says, this life must count for something. But that ache must turn into action. The dream must become discipline. The hunger must become habits, and the desire must become decisions. Because dreams without decisions are nothing more than illusions. And illusions will never change your life, but decisions will, every single one. The decision to speak life over yourself instead of cursing your own name with doubt. The decision to study instead of scroll. To train instead of whine. To show up instead of make excuses. These are the bricks. Stack enough of them, and you will stand on a tower of transformation so high that even your former self won't recognize you. And you will look back and realize that every hard thing was preparing you, every delay was positioning you, every heartbreak was carving a deeper capacity within you to hold what you were always meant to carry. And destiny, real, divine, undeniable destiny, is not just what you receive, it's who you become, because the truth is you're not chasing a dream. You're becoming the kind of person who can handle the dream. You're not fighting for success. You're fighting to shed the version of yourself that wasn't built for it. Every new level demands a stronger you, a wiser you, a more focused, more resilient, more honest you. And that's why you cannot take shortcuts. That's why the struggle matters, because what you become in the process is worth far more than what you gain at the end. The prize is not the car, the house, the applause. The prize is the clarity, the courage, the character. The prize is the unshakable you. So ask yourself, are you becoming that person? Are you showing up with the discipline your destiny demands? Are you thinking, speaking, and moving as if your legacy depends on it? Because it does. Your children are watching. Your community is watching, and more importantly, your future self is watching, and that future version of you is waiting for you to stop running from hard things. Waiting for you to stop lowering your standards to fit into average rooms, waiting for you to stop playing small so others feel comfortable, waiting for you to finally take responsibility, not for the life you were given, but for the life you are building. Because destiny does not reward potential, it rewards execution. You can be the most gifted, the most talented, the most brilliant person in the room. But if you do not act, if you do not move, if you do not rise, you will bury your greatness in the same soil where regret grows. But if you decide, truly decide, that from this day forward your destiny will no longer be a question mark but a mission, everything changes. Your energy changes, your language changes, the way you handle adversity changes. And people around you start to feel it. They don't just hear your words. They feel your conviction, and that conviction moves mountains. It's not about perfection. It's about consistency, showing up when you don't feel like it, doing the right thing when no one is watching, saying no to what looks good, because you're holding out for what's great. And yes, there will be pain, but not the pain of defeat, the pain of birth, of new beginnings, of stretching into a life far beyond the one you were told to settle for, because when you really understand who you are, when you stop measuring yourself by your failures and start measuring yourself by your fight, you become dangerous. You become uncommon, you become unstoppable. The world can throw storms, but you'll walk through them like a man possessed, not by arrogance, but by assignment. So now the question is not, can you change your destiny? The question is, will you? Will you rise when everything in you wants to lay down? Will you commit when your past whispers that you never finish? Will you walk through the fire, not because it's easy, but because it's the only way to burn off what no longer belongs in your future? Because the power to change your destiny is already in your hands, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, now, in this breath, in this moment, and it starts with a decision so loud, so final, so fierce that the universe has no choice but to respond. You weren't born to repeat patterns, you were born to break them, you weren't created to survive life, you were created to lead it, so stop waiting, stop hoping, stop watching from the sidelines, step into the arena. Grip your sword of discipline, wrap your armor of belief tight, and move as if your entire bloodline depends on it, because it does. This is not just about you. This is about everyone who comes after you. You are the one, you are the shift, you are the turning point your family prayed for, and your destiny, your true, powerful, undeniable destiny, begins the moment you finally stand up and say,